Welcome to bLU Talks.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MIT, Cambridge, Massachusetts. I'm here today with Davis Hawn, International Advocate for Service Dogs. Davis, can you quickly tell us about yourself, please?
I had an interesting life. One time in my life, I was very, very codependent. I had addicts in my life, and I tried to rescue the wounded bird, and it didn't work. And I will tell you that when you're codependent, you become sicker than the addict themselves, trust me. There was a time when I tried to fix the addict in my life, and I bought the addict a yellow lab puppy. But soon the puppy started taking the abuse. And I got a phone call one day, "Where's he at, man?" "Where's who at?" "Where's that puppy?" That puppy was destined to be traded for rocks of crack cocaine. I couldn't let that happen. That puppy didn't deserve that. So I exited stage left. I left my family. I left my friends. I left my business behind. I ended up in a camper in a little town called Ajo, Arizona. And that night, I almost committed suicide. And I couldn't even do that right. In the morning, there's knocking at my camper door. It was cursed children, humanoids. And I opened the camper door. "Mister, we have a dog. Can our dog play with your dog?" "Yeah, take the dog." 15 minutes later, he screamed in pain, and it was horrific, and I figured he'd been hit by a car because everything in life was bad. And I opened that camper door. The dog was crying. The children started crying, and I started crying. And I went back in that camper, and I slept with that dog in my arms for 3 days. And when I woke up, I got it. I had what I called a Helen Keller-like moment, an epiphany. And I realized that when I walked that dog, healthy, happy people kept coming up to me. Get away from me. I couldn't get a motel room. I had a dang-gone dog. But you know what? At that moment, I got it. He had been pulling me back to people. And I made him a promise that I would share him with the world. And so I Googled dogs that help people. You know, the camper had fallen on my leg and I couldn't bend it. I shooed the doggone dog away. He took my socks off my foot. I couldn't get to my sock, right? "Bring me my sock." Later in the day, he's chewing on my shoe. "Stop that." You know what he did? He brought me my shoe. I learned dogs help people. I Googled it, went out to California, Assistance Dog Institute, and trained under Lady Bonnie Bergin, who invented service dogs. And my life changed because of the dog in my life.
Wow. Now you do a lot of work with service dogs, what makes a service dog so special, and how are they different, or are they the same as guide dogs?
Well, service dogs, guide dogs, dogs do things for us that often we cannot do for ourselves. Veterans that are missing limbs, the dog will pull the wheelchair. People who are blind, the dog will guide you. People with diabetes, when their ketones go off, the dog will tell them that they're sinking. People who have epilepsy, the dog will not, don't eat that steak, you're going to choke on it, right? They do so many things. Even when COVID, you alluded to COVID earlier, we had COVID detection dogs in the airport that were pointing and, hey, that person's got COVID, pull them. They do so much that we can't do for ourselves.
Okay. Now, you briefly mentioned how they work with veterans. Can you give us a story on how a service dog can help a veteran?
Absolutely. First of all, 22 out of 24 hours a day, our heroes, our veterans are committing suicide. More veterans die from suicide than battle. So we have veterans with PTSD, trained dogs for veterans with TBIs, traumatic brain injuries. Bonnie at Bergin College started a program, Paws for Purple Hearts. And besides working with the dog, that canine-human bond, that unconditional love, we actually train dogs to do specific tasks for veterans. If you walk up and you get in a veteran's face, whoa. So we tell the dog block. He simply lays dormant, but you're not going to step on that dog to get in that veteran's face. So it keeps a social separation. Those guys often can't wait in line, just that quick. So we tell the dog, get my back. We train them. The dog sits backwards. It lets the person know that there's somebody coming up from their backside. Imagine looking for snipers day after day, night after night. At night, when the veterans are sleeping, sometimes those dreams come back, ah! And the bombs are falling. The dog will run, turn on the light switch. They will jump on the bed, lick the veteran or paw him, wake them up, run to the refrigerator, open it, bring them water. There's the medicine bag on the counter. They will grab it, bring it. The veteran can take a pill need be. They will search the house, and when the veteran feels calm and knows he's not in the battle scene again, the dog will go turn off the light switch, and the gentleman will go back, or lady, will go back to sleep. It's amazing what they can do. A lot of people aren't even aware of what they do.
No, that's why I find that so fascinating. They're more than just companions. How are you able to get like a dog like that after it's gone through college and so forth? What's the selection process for guide dogs and service dogs?
Well, Bonnie, who started Canine Companions for Independence, CCI, that was originally her organization. They have campuses. I think one's in California, one's in Orlando. You go for 2 weeks and you get partnering with your dog. And they don't just give you this golden or that Labrador. They do an extensive profile, on you, let's say. Is he an extrovert? Is he an introvert? Are they social? Are they this or that? And they plot your personality types on a graph, north, south, east, west. Then they interview the trainer of the dog. Dogs have personalities too. Some are more outgoing, more energetic, and they plot those dots. And wherever the dog dot is closer to that human, that is your dog that you will be assigned with. And I'll never forget, I was at Bergin College at a graduation, and a war veteran came up. And we have puppy raisers. We have families that raise the dog till they're 1 year of age. This little girl walked up on stage, and she had that dog's leash. And there was that war veteran. She said, "This is Missy. I love Missy. I've raised Missy, but today Missy is yours." That veteran took that leash and burst out crying on that stage. It's got to be one of the most powerful things that I have ever seen. Wow. That was an explosion of unknown magnitude. And that veteran grabbed that leash, and those folks bonded. It was just powerful. Powerful.
So you've been doing this for a couple of years. Have you noticed a change in the public perception and, more importantly, public acceptance of service dogs and guide dogs?
Yeah. Yes and no. Yes, people now are starting to learn how valuable service dogs, assistance dogs are in society. But on the other side of the equation, there's a little bit of a rebellion sometimes, because you have selfish, let me repeat that, selfish humans who want to take their puppy dog into public venues. They have no training. Some of them bring them on an airplane. I was sitting next to a Doberman with a piece of cardboard around its neck that said service dog. No more a service dog than a fly. It can be dangerous. And if a dog were to bite someone or cause problems, there's a backlash. Naturally, there's a backlash. So, yes, people do accept service dogs more than ever, but then people are faking them more than ever and causing a problem, which tarnishes the reputation of the legitimate service dog, which will cost upwards of $50,000 to train, a guide dog upwards of $100,000. The dogs receive an education costing quite often more than the education for a human student.
So how could the average layperson know the difference between a service dog and a wannabe service dog?
It's almost obvious. When I walk onto an airplane, I tell my dog, forward, forward, left please, down please, stay. The flight attendants are just aghast. But you ask them, can you tell the difference between a fake service dog and a real one? Oh, they look at you and say, in a second. It's just that obvious. This dog has been participating all day long. He hasn't left my side. He hasn't urinated or defecated in public. He hasn't barked, and he has stood by my side. That's not a coincidence. That's day after day, week after week, month after month of training, and it pays off. And it's the same, I would like to believe, with humans. You kind of get out of it what you put into it.
That's fascinating. Now, you spend obviously a lot of time with your dogs. Have you noticed the dogs How do you treat them? Do you give them special treats or anything?
You have certain dog trainers, I'm the pack leader, boom, and they roll the dog on their back. Well, maybe that'll work, right? But here's the catch. We learned this at the dog college. If you have two dogs and you give one, say, shake, and you give him a treat. The other one, you say, shake, you give him a treat. Shake, give him a treat. Then you stop giving the second dog the treat. Guess what happens? He's kind of jealous. He sees. Dogs know, and they perceive that. So they understand fairness, believe it or not. My dogs, we started giving food, instead of dominance. That's great. But my dogs, when I train them, maybe a snack now and then, but you know what I give them? I give them praise. Good puppy, good boy, yay, yay. And that emotionalism trains them. If you tell a dog, sit, what do you think he's going to do? He's going to jump up, right? You tell him, up. What do you think? The dog's not going to get up. There's so much, and it goes back to connectivity and connecting with the dogs. They respond to emotionalism. They respond to praise. And I would like to think that human children do the same thing. There's not a lot of difference. The dog, we study dogs to learn about humans quite often.
Thank you, David. It's been a fabulous time talking with you today about your dog, and I hope that people out there get a better understanding of how important service dogs are, not just to veterans, but to everybody as well.
And I would like to say that if we could just live our life like a dog, I think the world would be a better place. You see, dogs don't carry the baggage from the past, really. They don't plot to get even in the future. They're happy in the here and now. If we could just learn to be happy in the here and now, how much greater life would be. Learn to wag your tail today.
Thank you, David.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you, folks.
All right.